Okay, so food or production. I'm gonna go for food first. Get that factory up and running. Arguably I should be buying that, but 320 is a lot. In 5 turns time I want the money for trade deals probably still. Hopefully.
World has grown in strength.
So we grew to 5 planets. You may notice then it didn't actually say the name of our civilization. I'm not sure if they recorded it or not, or they're going to add it in future, hopefully. Right, so I believe that is it for the turn. We're up to 5 planets, and let's end turn.
Meaningful exchange furthers understanding.
Now the Silent wants our charts. I do not want to give him my charts, but if I were to refuse, I believe it would damage relations. And I really do not want to damage relations. It's not easy to maintain a high disposition. And if I can get a tiny bit higher, I can actually get things like non-aggression and research treaties, which would be very nice. So I'm going to accept this. It's maybe one reason why I should have sold him it earlier, actually. Another reason. Okay, so that means that he's revealed a bit more stuff down here. Looks like he's colonized 4 different places. The text is in that purpley colour. Right, 37 stars it said. I'm not sure if that's true or not. So we just completed a space factory. Let's get the biospheres up here next. And get the space factory to there. And we're going to upgrade that with a super scalar gas harvester, which sounds really amazing, but in reality it only gives you an extra 1 credit, but better than nothing. There are things later on, like the gas giant compression, which actually turns it into a normal planet, I believe. So you might want to pick that up eventually. Artificial planet construction might be used, I think you use asteroids for that. Jump gates are good for traveling. I definitely want to be picking that up later as well. But only some of those were available to be built on a gas giant eventually. Right, so let's move there. Frigates are looking for that. Well, I'm going to go to that planet, and then I should need to repair them. I need to look for pirates. Okay. This space factory, let's go to the largest planet first. And let's end the turn. Advanced magnetism research completed.
Our engineers have made a new discovery, my liege.
So we've got class 1 shield become available and an ECM jammer, which is missile avoidance. Shield's equivalent to half your hit points. I don't want to upgrade either of those.
Please.
Yet, so I'm going to do it manually. Let's view tech tree. So that new planet which I colonized as swamp, wasn't it? So it's not going to count for any of those. I'm going to go for neutron physics then. Let's pick the neutron collider up as soon as I can, basically. Nearly as soon as I can. Right, so I've got to upgrade some of my ship designs this turn. Might as well do it now then. So let's start off with the destroyer. Now I believe this will automatically upgrade the ship in my Danubius list, which has been built. So these cost 25. That's a lot actually. If I take 2 off though, that is perfect. I can just stick that straight on. Means I have less firepower, but at least I keep alive longer. Right, so that's done. And the frigate shields cost 10 space, so I can drop 1 nuclear bomb, add the shield, and press done there. So that is the upgrades done. I don't know. I'd put it this way, I doubt the automated upgrade would have done that. I don't know for certain because I didn't check it out, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have done that. Let's move then. So we've reached our mouse system, and yeah, nothing there. It's kind of obvious because it was a tiny circle. Let's get the space factory up there, see what that is. So that planet's small but pretty good otherwise. That's a pretty decent planet that looks very similar to that Tab planet which I recently colonized. Not quite as good though. Right, so I believe that is for the turns, the next turn. Now, one thing you might think I should be doing is basically colonizing these planets as quickly as possible. I'm not sure if I've mentioned about this before, but there is a modifier that you get called colonizing too fast that the other AIs will pick up at some stage, and it's really extremely damaging if you get that modifier. Basically your relations will sour and plummet, in fact, to the point where you're going to end up at war with everyone as well. So you really need to try and avoid that. It's basically the anti-wide mechanic within the game. I've been playing recently with this patch with the Martians in a different game, trying to figure out how exactly it works, and I was actually aware of it before in the early videos of this Let's Play, but I thought it worked slightly differently back then to how it does. I thought I could colonize about 8 or 9 planets and it wouldn't kick in. It's actually, in that Martian game, I had it kick in on 7 planets, so it's something you've got to be really careful with, and that's one reason why I'm not going to be colonizing like crazy currently, but I might do a bit later on. I think I need to get that up now, probably, maybe. No, I'll get the Marine Barracks up first, or should I? I want to get the Starbase up soon. I'll get that up first, then I'll get the Starbase. I might even make another destroyer here. Yeah, so how it used to work, I thought it was a certain amount of planets before it kicked in, and it's not, at least not only. So it could kick in and if I colonize 7 planets or more, and I've already colonized 5, which means I can only really colonize 1 more planet before having this dreadful modifier. If you've played Shogun Total War, it had a similar mechanic in that. If you basically got too many provinces, everyone went nuts and tried to kill you because you're almost en route to becoming Shogun. It works in a similar way to that. I'm not sure if it's the nicest, best of mechanics, but yeah, the game, most 4X games need some anti-wide mechanic, and that's the mechanic that Master of Orion does. So you really have to basically pick your early planets carefully and actually try to create bottlenecks, I've found, so you can defend them very well. And in this circumstance, I've actually got a really good situation. Danubius and Tripton is probably where we're going to be sticking most of my fleets later on. And then eventually, when I believe I'm in a position to, when I'm strong enough militarily, I can just colonize like crazy and also sprint out and conquer people. That's what I'm going to be doing. I've got to really time that hitting the colonizing too fast modifier though correctly. Right, so let's bring this space factory down here. So in some ways I maybe should have made sure I scouted those before colonizing that planet actually. But because if there was amazing planet, much better planets there, I would have rather colonized them now than that, possibly. The other planets I'd colonize are key to locking in this territory. So yeah, but that one arguably wasn't. Right, so this destroyer is recently done. Let's place that over there. Just in case the Cylon pay us a visit. They're happy at the moment though, so they're not going to. This scout can come up here and I'll actually have it go to there eventually. They can find there. And I believe that destroyer was automatic. Yeah, destroyer level 5. It was automatically upgraded in the ship list with the shield. I need to upgrade the frigates though. Okay, so next turn. So I do want to get another colony out soon to get the 6th colony. I don't think it would trigger it on the 6 colonies. I may even be wrong about that though. Potentially. Let's check something out here. So what I think the modifier might be to do with is actually how many more colonies you have than the nearest opponent, or possibly all opponents. It might trigger in based on this, but this is guesswork on my behalf. I have no idea if that's the case. Currently I have 1 more than Cylon. I think if I had 3 more it would trigger it. That's my theory. So they have 4, we have 5. I think 2 might be safe, but even now I'm not 100% sure. Right, so let's move that. It's really crucial to doing well though. Negotiating that is probably the most important thing going, apart from knowing where and when to colonize. Right, so we've got a factory. What's morale looking like? We grow in 9 turns. So I'm gonna need that, but I think I want more science. I'm gonna get that up first. I might have a tiny bit of strike here because of that. Okay. Fleet needs orders. I'm actually gonna check this turn and see if there's embassies. I've got a ton of money. I want to know if I'm
Yes?
spend it or not.
Walk with the wild spirits.
What about the Clack-on? I need to find the other factions soon. No, he doesn't have it either. Taking time.
We part ways.
Could I spend that? You know what? I am going to spend that. Okay. I think it's probably worthwhile. Get things up there quicker. Probably got enough for trade treaties when they finally get their embassies. This can come back down to Tripton to upgrade. That space factory's done its job. That can basically go to sleep or on guard. I think I'll put it on sleep. And that's it for the turn. I'll check for embassies on turn 47 next. Automated factory completed on Katab. So that's the one I just bought. Let's get the laboratory up next. Okay. Hydroponic farm on the other Katab system. So what am I doing? Can't remember. Research laboratory. Yeah, I think if I'd started this game completely over again, knowing what I know now, I might not have colonized this one. I might have just colonized the other planet within the system. This is going to be freaking amazing long term though, so arguably it's better to get up and running. Start getting up and running early. But the high gravity really has a bad effect on it. It's going to be a while before I can do anything about that. Bull Rathi have aren't affected by high gravity though. If I was them, then that planet would be utterly amazing already. Right, so let's get down to there. Let's give her whatever that is. That's actually an anomaly near Mobus. Right, so I'll have to pick that up shortly. Next turn. Space Factory finished super scale harvester. Okay, is there any... There's actually an asteroid in that system, so I need a space factory to upgrade that. There is a route into this system from here, so I want a space factory there actually to put some defenses up, so that's where I'm going to send it next. That is number 2, yes it is. Biospheres are completed on capital. Let's get hydroponic farm. You know what? Having said that, let's add some of these on the list. I think it's probably okay for me to colonize the next planet now. Now I could get a colony ship from Get Danubis to make a colony ship. Maybe it's got a really good production, but I probably don't want to waste. It's a lot harder to get food there, so I think I probably need to make it over here. So let's get that out eventually. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Right. So I'm going to have a long journey over to one of these 2 systems, probably, since... yeah, Vulcan I think is the next best one there to colonize, so that's probably where I'm going to take it. Okay, right, how many turns is that? Only 1 turn, so let's go and grab the anomaly.
The anomaly turns out to be a derelict ship, floating eerily empty with no signs of its former crew. Your engineers report all systems are fully functional. Even if some crew members might refuse to board the ghost ship, it will make a great addition to your current fleet.
Okay, so that's a bit of luck. We got a free frigate. It's usually either a scout or a frigate. I think that's it for the turn. Next turn. Okay, so have to move. Let's see if we can get an embassy.
Hello, outsider.
Nope.
Yes? Walk with the wild spirits.
Okay, not sure who the wild spirits are, but maybe we'll follow his advice.
Greet you.
Right,
We are
brilliant. So click on, now have that xenotech, so we can establish an embassy, finally,
The Hive works too hard to yield.
if I give him a credit.
The Hive does not covet. We are rejoiced.
Okay, so that went up.
We are listening.
I forgot about the Cylons as well. Maybe I could have got a research treaty with them. I had enough money maybe to do it as well. I should have checked that out. So trade treaty is 111 credits. I need to give you credit, don't
The
I?
Hive works too hard. The Hive does not covet. We are rejoiced.
Right, so that went up.
We are listening. The Hive does not
And there's no way in hell I can get
We
that.
ask only a
Not
fair
without giving
trade.
half my empire away. So, no
We part
non-aggression
ways.
yet. Right, let's have a look. Word of the Cylon then.
Welcome back, stranger. I listen
Relationship is the same as last time, maybe, although this does degrade when you get really high amounts. I'm not sure what causes it. Maybe military amount or just natural decay. So, research treaty, 384 credits I would need a minimum to be able to exchange research treaties. And non-aggression, I doubt I can get that yet.
I find this an equitable arrangement. Farewell, stranger.
Aim here, of course, is to colonize as much as possible eventually and conquer everyone. So any non-aggression treaties would only be temporary. Right, so I believe increased morale here, was it recently? I'm going to go for the starbase next. So what starbases do is give you extra command points, so they are incredibly useful because of that. It means you can have a larger fleet, give you a bit of extra scanner range. They allow your ships to repair quicker when you orbit the planets. Cost a bit of maintenance. They also stick a unit orbiting your planet as well, so if anyone tries to attack the planet, then they have to destroy the starbase first. So all in all, starbases are key to being successful in the game. Right, so that's actually going to take 10 turns though to get up and running. After that though, I've got more room to make more combat ships. Conquest Victory, we're up to 1675, getting a free frigate and a destroyer has raised that. I believe that, well, this is linked to military strength in the main. I don't think the calculation is exact. I could go for other types of victories. That's score victory, so I'd never ever go for that. Diplomatic victory is very linked to conquest victory actually, because I think it's population based. So if you're colonizing, taking tons of planets, you're going to be doing very well diplomatically as well. So it's not really all that diplomatic, arguably. Technological victory, that's complete the tech tree, which takes forever, so I'm not going to go for that. Right, so fleet. These are going back to repair to Tripton. Slowly. Pirates will come back almost definitely at some stage, especially if I don't have anything. Looking out for them in a colony or in a system that they're liable to appear in. So this space factory, I'm going to bring it down here actually. I want to put up some sensors, which you can do. You don't need to have a planet within the system to be able to do that, unlike the military base. Right, so next turn. Tab grew. Right. There's so much less micromanagement now with the overflow. Just don't need to do it anymore. Right, so next turn. Space Factory completed a military outpost. Where was that to? That was down in Tripton. I think I need another one there. I guess I'll do that before upgrading that asteroid, though I'm tempted to do the asteroid first. Very tempted. Yeah, well, just in case. Tab grew. Oh, we're actually getting someone striking now. Oh, that grew quickly. Yeah, let's get those done quick then. Okay. So looks like I messed up a bit there. So that striking person basically doesn't work, doesn't create any output whatsoever. I could lower the tax. It's on 46 currently. That's on 0, so we lost 15. So it's not great.
My liege, a moment.
And each, as she's mentioning, economic advice. Each production point is worth about 8 in money. But money is a heck of a lot more flexible, you can spend it anywhere. So I'd probably be getting more food or production points than out of that citizen if I put it down to 3 tax arguably, but yeah, it's 5 food there actually. Oh, and it's minus 50%. Yeah, so maybe I should lower my tax, but I can't be asked. I'm going to keep it on that. Let's move scouts to there. So frigates can move down to there. I think the Clacon are probably more of a threat to me at the moment than Cylon arguably, but or the Bears, but no one's really a threat yet. So maybe I could arguably be moving those fleets back down here perhaps. Right, next turn. How many scouts do I have? I won't mind. Right, there's one coming down there. There's a scout up here I'm going to send down there. Yeah, I can maybe do with another scout actually. What did I make then? I don't even know. Right, in 3 turns we need this. So I'm actually going to get a striking populace there as well, sadly, unless I buy it. I'm going to talk to the Bulrathi, see if they have an embassy here.
Hello, outsider. Yes?
Speak to them in 3, 5
Walk
turns.
with the wild spirits.
Getting to the point where I might be able to get a research treaty with the Cylon now. This space factory is going to make military outpost there. So my territory now is almost all locked with these outposts, so no one can really get into it without me having a say-so on it. So eventually I will be able to colonize these planets at my whim. If I go on here though, you can see there's no modifier for colonizing too fast, which is crucial, because if there was, I'd be in relations would start to plummet. But we're getting a colony ship being made, aren't we? So that's gonna get over here, colonize, and then who knows, it may even trigger it then, but it shouldn't do. If it happens at 6 planets, I've never seen that. Right, so next turn.
We would have you weave a union with the Klakon.
Weave a union, eh? Okay, so they want my charts. I do not want to disappoint them, so I'm going to say yes.
Our cooperation is the buzz of the whole hive.
Okay. Lots of insect puns. Let's check that out. So she revealed her chart, so we can actually see down here a bit more. I believe so, at least. And the pirates are back. Just when I got my frigates over here. Oh, I can actually upgrade these days. They don't have the shields on. Let's upgrade those then. Pirate fleet, so I've got to deal with them. The fact that there's a pirate fleet means that there's a pirate base over here as well, so I've got to also deal with that. Research, they definitely need to make pirates probably stronger or more aggressive, though I don't think they're much of a threat. Just a nuisance at the moment. Let's move there. Research laboratory. So we grow in 13 turns. I've actually got a lot of production here, it would seem. Let's get another point of science. I'm not investing many of my population into science at the moment, but longer term I will be. At the moment I'm just making it a priority to get science, buildings with science points built soon, pretty soon at least. So yeah, let's get that up first. And a research laboratory on Katab has been made, so I need to get that soon because of the morale situation. The scout doesn't seem that the Bulrathi colonized that. I don't know why, because they had a colony ship over here at some point. Who knows where it ended up? But I think they've those 2 planets are there in their color. I don't think that is. Tiny bit colorblind, so I can't actually. Yeah, I don't think it is. Let's bring us down here. Then I'm gonna come down in this direction, looking for the other factions. I'm trying to remember who it is now. I can't remember. Humans and someone else. Right. So these frigates move to there. I've got a feeling they're gonna move around there though. And that scout's done its job. I can actually check these out as well. Let's flag that. Oh, I've done that already. That's one I definitely want to colonize. It's a very good planet. Not sure if I'm going to be able to though without getting it colonizing too fast. Clean trigger. Okay. So let's end the turn.
GNN, Galactic News Network.
Demographers note a 50% increase in births on a colony world. The exact cause is uncertain.
You do know where babies come from, don't you?
Okay, so that's GNN. Right, so it said we had a 50% boost in population, was it? It's on Danubius Prime. Right. Now, if this is on a different planet, then I would actually invest more into food. But I can't here. One thing they need to add in the game as well at some stage is the ability to move all of your population points at the same time. Currently you have to drag each and every one. They should add an option where you can like hold down Control or Shift so you can do that quicker. But yeah, I can't sadly make much use out of that. Population, yeah, done that. So neutron physics
Our
research
engineers
completed.
have made a new discovery, my liege.
So we now have the ability to make this. This is the main reason I'm going after it, to increase our production. Neutron rifle is for ground troops, for invasions or against being invaded. And a mass driver, which is an excellent weapon. It ignores shields, unlike beam weapons, I believe. This is a weapon I would normally use on my ships, but with the Terrans we get supposedly a 25% boost to beams, so maybe I won't be using it. Research management, let's pick a new tech.